when I was little, Orgus, I wanted to be a veterinarian. Now I cannot see myself doing that. Don't get me wrong, I do love animals. I just can't bear to see them in pain or any suffering like that. But it does correlate with what I'm kind of doing right now. Since I'm certified as an RNREMT, I'm going to be working on helping people and trying to help save lives. What about you, though? Did you want to be anything specific when you were growing up, or did you just kind of try and figure it out as you went?
Hi, I'm Orgus, by the way. Welcome to Done Dirty Diaries. Bridget, actually, that's so funny because I wanted to also be in the doctor area of things, or like, what's the word? Like, I wanted to be a gynecologist, but it's not because it was my dream.
Oh!
But I was so young, and other people, older people mentioned gynecology a lot. So I was like, oh my God, that sounds cool. I didn't even know the process or
Oh.
anything. So I kept telling that to my teacher.
You're like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get hella bands, bro. I'm gonna make so much money. Gynecology is my thing. Your teacher was probably like looking at you like, oh, so why do you want to pursue that? Like, okay, buddy, you do you.
Yeah, that's so true.
Which, no shame, because my gynecologist is a male. At least currently, that's what I think. No shame. They're also great doctors, no matter the gender.
There were kids in my class who were like, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be like a veterinarian, which is a little bit more like, like more common. But I was like, gynecologist. Meanwhile, I didn't have a single
Gynecology is where it's at.
passion about it. Yeah. But then I really want to talk about this, guys. I feel like childhood dreams, kind of depend on phases, because I had that phase as a kid where I wanted to be things other people were saying. And then that's the other phase where you're kind of studying a lot and you're like, I'm going to be a scientist. At least I was a nerd. No judgment there. Like, I studied a lot. I read a lot of books when I was younger. I'm still young, guys, but like nowadays we're consuming more documentaries.
Yeah, apologize for being very smart and kind of productive,
But it just was like, yeah, like I shouldn't apologize that much, but it's just the fact that there's phases, and the third phase is when you first start getting your hobbies, and when you first start, like, for example, the first time my dad bought me a camera, that's when I started being really into filming and really into recording. And I was also watching YouTube, and from watching YouTube, I was really inspired. So at first, I was copying YouTubers. I just turned the camera on. I was trying to do what someone else did, but I really enjoyed.
What's up, guys? It is Orgus back with another
Yeah.
YouTube video. Today, we are going to be eating 500 bowls of ramen today. Orgus has really good content. Please check him out on YouTube.
Thank God that time when I was young, it wasn't the ramen spicy challenge thing trending. It was more like lifestyle, life hacks. So I was doing like lifestyle videos, vlogs, but I was kind of like copying other YouTubers' stone until I found my own niche and my own style. But I think it's childhood dreams are so funny because they come in phases. What about you, Bridget? Have you had like phases on childhood dreams, or was it
Ooh,
being a
yes.
veterinarian like from the go start?
That was from the get-go, I'm not gonna lie. I did do ballet when I was very young. Didn't want to be a ballerina when I was little, but kind of like drew myself away from that little aspiration. As I got older, I did really like to start drawing, and I did want to be an artist. I still kind of want to pursue that and like maybe like draw my own things when I'm older. I do have an iPad where I can draw stuff, but it's more so right now I'm focused on education. Ooh, a good one is my father. He's an investigator for white collar crime, so kind of like business crimes, like scam, fraud, all that you can think of. Nothing like homicide related. I did want to become like a homicide investigator. I thought that was super neat. And then actor, that'd be really cool. Like reach for the stars. Like nothing's too big to like wish that you would like to do. Anybody can become an astronaut in these days.
Yeah, as long as you honestly commit. Like we have so many people who are building rocket ships. I know I say that as if it's so easy, and if I know it, I have no idea how to build something like that. But yeah, dreams develop a lot, and I think like based on your dreams, it's also like you realize a lot about yourself. Like, I know back then when I was turning the camera on, like, I didn't like certain things about the way I talked and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, like, why is a hobby? It's same as last episode, guys. We talked about how sometimes we feel shameful showing our parents and our people close to us our art or maybe our videos or something we've created. But I feel like it's just so nice that as humans we create things, period. Like anything you see, we have created as humans. So that's just like something that I've been thinking lately. And I know as a kid I was very like I judged myself a lot, but I shouldn't have because when I see those privated videos on YouTube, I'm like, I'm proud. Like, I tried. Like, even though I spent a lot of hours and maybe the music in the background was a little bit like too loud, I still enjoy my childhood.
Well, because you recognize those mistakes, it makes you better, dude. And the fact you mentioned like the art of creation, it's crazy because it's like, wow, how the heck did we get like from starting fire in like the caveman period to like now we have freaking Bluetooth and Wi-Fi? Like, how does that even work? Of course, a quick Google search will save you wonders. Right now, I'm not going to do that, but you know, it's just wow, we've come so far, and it's just crazy to see like what humans can do now.
Yeah, now it's like just as up to us if we use our sources and our resources. On another topic, Bridget, something that I really always wanted to ask you, do you feel that when you do your hobbies in front of other people, do you feel like other people show their true faces and how much they really support you when you're doing like your real hobbies?
I feel like you could definitely see that like in the faces they make. Like some people like, oh, I found your TikTok, and I'm just like, oh gosh, because it's just like I don't know, I don't know how I feel about like people I know in real life seeing my TikTok, but that is like a very true statement. Sometimes you can really see like what they think about you. You know, some people have very niche and like not very common hobbies. Like once like when you're in that place of like critiquing and if they're like looking for advice, you're just like, oh, like I never thought of this person to not do something like this necessarily or like more so have this as a hobby. So I feel like the more people we like surround ourselves with who have that shared hobby, the better support we'll have. Because some people will be like, oh, I'm not really into that. Like, minus friendship points from you, which is like, okay, cool, like whatever. Like some people have different hobbies, so what? But I think that is a really great point where it's like you kind of see their true face, but some people they just sugarcoat it. So maybe it is really just hard to read people on the surface.
Nowadays, everyone is influenced by social media and everyone wants to make money of their hobbies by putting them up on social media. And we talk this with Bridget like almost on every episode. But it's like, why does someone else think that showing their hobbies on social media is more lucrative than me showing, for example, my hobbies on social media? It has developed like a comparative culture and everybody's like kind of comparing like everything kind of pops up
Ooh.
in itself. Like there's people gardening on YouTube and that, yeah, that gets millions of views. So I feel like everyone has their own space of development. So I'm like, why judge? Why not support me? And that's the way how a lot of people lose friends. But you know what I think a lot of people also lose friends on? Like money and respect. Can you ever relate on that? I mean, I haven't had cases with money, but today, guys, from last episode, there's the confession that I will read in a bit. I just want to first get Bridget's opinion
Okay.
if she ever had like problems with money and people not respecting her money, because I also want to talk a little bit on that. But I'm so excited to read one of our first confessions. It's kind of long, Bridget, but I'm going to try to read it and uh
That's totally fine.
yeah. How do you feel? Do you feel that you ever were disrespected in a way, or people didn't respect your time or money, or didn't put enough respect besides hobbies, for example? Because that one, okay, let's say we understand that one, but like, what about other parts of life?
When it comes to like people not respecting my time individually, I feel like I've learned a lot through when it comes to me not respecting people's time because I'm not a very on time person. I am late sometimes. So when that happens to me, I do really feel like the depth of it. It's just like, ooh. this is like minus friendship points for me because I don't like having my time wasted. I'm a very fast paced person, especially with the ADHD. Like, I need this information now, I want to meet now, yada yada yada. But then when it comes to me, it's just like, ugh, horrible. And then I'm always so apologetic and all that. But in this situation, this is when it comes to like when I had high school friends. Like, I'm welcoming people into my house, disrespecting my house, disrespecting my time. Like, me going over to like console a friend who ends up like backstabbing in the back. That's not really a good use of my time. Waste of my money, you know, like gas is money, like driving people around. Even like, oh, I just bought you this, like, hey, can you pay me back? Like, you told me you could pay me back. Like, is that really good friendship if it's like not reciprocated and understood both ways? Like, if I were to lend you this type of money, I expect you to pay me back and vice versa, you know? Like, that's what builds a strong connection and a strong friendship. So I do have a personal story about that. I'm not going to say any names, but I did have this friend, let's call her Sam. And Sam and I were friends, I believe, kind of like in middle school. And I didn't have much money when I was younger because, you know, you're in middle school, you don't pay a lot for things. But Sam was a friend from elementary school, so I'm like, you know, like, I can trust her. But our friendship broke apart when I just started understanding that she wouldn't respect my time, my money, or even my care for her because she would blow me off sometimes. She wouldn't pay me back when I would like catch her for lunch and stuff. Also, my respect for her. Like, you know, if I'm gonna back her up in a situation, I expect her to back me up as well. So it's just like, don't let people run over you like that. Like, come on, stand up for yourself. And I really wish I could tell my younger self that.
But I feel like it's all about growth, and you probably look back now at that situation and are like, "Oh, I would have never let someone do that again to
Oh,
me."
literally.
Like
Not
you
now, not
already
today.
set your boundaries. Personally, I just have this thing with money. For example, I go get a haircut, and sometimes I'm short on money, and obviously I'm leaving a tip to my barber. But sometimes I overdo it to the point where it's like a very big tip because I feel like they've made me look pretty hot or look good. And I don't know why I can't just leave like 10%, 15%, or like, you know what I mean? I always leave a big tip. And
Mm-hmm.
afterwards, I'm like, wait, but like I would use that money for something else. Like, why can't I just not pay the price? Some people pay the fixed price and leave. Why am I always getting them so much money? And I don't want to sound mean, but it's like, I'm
No,
young.
it's because you're too nice, Orgus. That's one thing. And then you regret it later. I was like, I should have been that nice. No, you're just being really, like, nice. And then when it's, like, the end of the day and you've had, like, a crap day and, like, you haven't been shown that kind of gratitude, that's when it's like, ugh, I could have used that for something else.
Yeah,
I feel
this
like you have, like, really good intention behind it, but it's just like, yeah, you definitely need that money. Like, if you're a few bucks short for gas, it is just like, shoot, I should have tipped that much.
But we have another story about money this time, but it's not ours. It's one of our listeners who wrote to us because
Who
last
said
episode
that?
we left a Google document, and we're going to continue leaving a Google document that's anonymous, by the way, unless you want to share your name or something, or unless you want a shout out from Done Dirty Diaries. We have her first
Hey,
confession.
Mom.
We've got like a lot of short ones, but this was what the craziest one. So I am. Should I read our first confession? This is about a crazy story about
Go for
money. I've
it.
already read it, but I forgot because this was from our last episode. So let's read this. So they started by saying, "Nice pod, Orgus. I thought you were not doing social media anymore. Love to see you back." Oh my god, this is probably someone from Kosovo. That's what I
Ah!
thought from the first time I read this. It's
Yay.
probably someone from my country because here, my social media guys, it's only in Albanian, so it's probably someone who used to watch my videos. I've been following you from the beginning. Oh, yeah. I forgot that they confessed this. From the first time when you used to do funny stories on TikTok. My situation is very interesting. Thank you, by the way. I don't want to just read the story. Thank you so much. That means the world to me, guys. And especially when you guys tell me that you've been watching from like day one or something like that. I know I'm still a micro influencer on TikTok, so I appreciate that a lot. So They go on by saying, my situation is very interesting. I've been kind of distant with my friends since I have noticed they have been very stingy with their money. That is okay. Everyone has tough times. I used to struggle too, and I was very honest with them. Let's just say that over time, I gave 140 euros to a very close friend of mine. She finally has a job now and started getting paid. I mentioned to her that I kind of need my money back. To some people, that might not be a lot of money. She said, no, 140 euros is a lot, right, Bridget?
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Convert that to American dollars and damn.
Yep. Like, it's, girl, no, it's not. To everyone is a lot, but I get paid minimum
It's still
wage.
your money. Any cent you give to somebody, that's still like kind of part of your time. Like you still earn that by going to your
Unless
job.
you're just like, oh, this is a gift. Keep that money. It's like something else. But she like kind of loaned it, I guess, because she said gave, but she probably like loaned it to 140 euros. I get paid minimum wage, so any cent is extremely important to me. And even though she's my best friend, oh my gosh, she thinks like she actually knows, so she's very aware. It's extremely important to me, and even though she's my best friend, I would see her rent cars, go on vacations, and buy original Jordans that are more expensive than the amount I gave her. My money is my money, so I asked to get my money back, which is totally normal. Yup, girl, this is totally normal. So I asked her for my money back, but wanna know how. She wrote wanna know how, all capitals. One night out.
Tell us, girl.
Yep, one night out with her and our group of friends, she paid for my taxi. It was kind of expensive, but it was not something worth mentioning considering she owes me money. She dared to look at me and say, you owe me 30 euros. I immediately told her, you owe me 140 euros, girl. That night, hours later, she gave me the money, and from that night, I noticed that she started changing the way she would talk to me. She did not want to invite me anywhere she and the rest of the girls went. It was always the third party invite me while we were the closest friends. Seeing what her attitude was for me, just asking my money back, I decided to distance myself and stay alone. I would too, girl. I know this is the right thing to do. My question was, what would you and your co-host do in this case? Have you ever had such experience? Whoa, guys, this was a crazy first confession. Wow. Whew.
Well, Miss Girl, you are not in the wrong. That is your money, and the fact she's being so like spiteful and like sassy about it afterwards, and asking you, now you owe me $30. Okay, well you still owe me 140 euros. I mean, I guess in a way, it's 110 now, but no, like you're supposed to pay me first. Like, are you serious right now? I'm so sorry. Like, oh, what a crappy friend.
Very crappy friend. I really want an update if you can. Just like, are you still talking to her?
Please do.
Happening. I know she said in the beginning that she's being distant with that friend, which I would do too. Honestly, like if they're giving you attitude for you asking your own money, I think you're very wise.
Oh yeah. Keep your distance. Keep your distance. Stay far, far away from this friend. You not want another situation like that. But that is so petty of her to be like, you owe me 30 now. Like, okay, girl. Like, you clearly are comfortable enough with how much money you're getting from who? I don't know. Maybe you're screwing over all your other friends, and now other people are in debt to you. But the fact you're doing my girl dirty like that, are you serious right now?
If you're doing something like this to your friend and using someone else's money, and you're buying Jordans that are more expensive than the money you owe someone, you better pay the money you owe someone first. You know what I mean? That's a common courtesy.
Ooh, but we also gotta remember that a lot of stuff we see on social media is fake. Some people, like I mentioned earlier, they be returning all the clothes that they wear. They be renting cars. They be like kind of just going on trips that they're not technically paying for, maybe like hopping on with someone and then ghosting them or something like that. They might be doing really shady stuff to achieve some of that, and it's just like, don't compare yourself to that. Like, you don't know what's going on in their life. She could be in debt right now, for all we know.
I will say that the fact that this listener, girl, you're so wise. The fact that she wrote this confession, you might feel a little bit guilt from being distant with her because you probably had a lot of fun with her, but honestly, sometimes it's worth, not sometimes, but it's always worth putting yourself first, especially if she were the one who owned you money. And I know she gave you the money back, but the attitude, like, just shows that They didn't appreciate you putting yourself first. They didn't appreciate you kind of standing up for yourself. So next time, just stay away from people who don't appreciate your time and stay with people who put you first, just like you did in this time. Honestly, go pretty wise.
Money can destroy relationships, and money can basically rule the world. Money is very much power, and it's hard to convince ourselves that it's not. So, a few nights ago, me and my friends, we went out, and one of my friends was driving. We were just like in the back. We were listening to music, vibing. We were also talking. And I guess, something happened, and like the driver that we had just passed, he rolled down his window and stuck up his middle finger at us. It was so gross because his finger was so long, but then it was like, what did we do? And it just makes me think, like, people get so crazy on the road, Orgus, but I mean, me personally, I don't get the craziest road rage, but I do get really pissed off in some certain situations. That's like the thing with driving, though. Like, it's very competitive. Some people are reckless. Some people you're just like, holy cow, how did this person get their license? It's just crazy, dude.
Is it because the traffic was slow, or like what was happening there? Like, why would he stuck his middle finger up?
Dude, it was just like, I don't even know what he did wrong, our driver in that situation. I guess maybe that person who was right next to us, maybe he was trying to merge lanes and he didn't put on his signal or anything, and it's just like, whatever, dude, it's not the end of the world. Like, why are you throwing up your middle finger at like a bunch of like teens, 20-year-olds, all that? Like, what?
Yeah. I don't know. Have you ever flipped someone? Because I personally try like to avoid those situations and like kind of say it in people's face and be like, "Oh, what the f are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like, have you ever like argued with someone like in those situations?
Oh, like in the confrontation, like not when it came to driving. No, I get very heated in argument type situations because then it's all about a debate. Unless if things like get messy. But like I will call somebody out if they're like really irking me off. Like I remember one time with a situation, I think a situation where I should have stepped up for myself that like nowadays I'm just like grown up me's looking back at younger me, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, tell these people off. Is when my old friends came over to my house and I had a little container of sprinkles, very tiny, not big. I do not snack on sprinkles that much, but I had it because I went to Meijer the other day and I just grabbed it. So this was in high school, and one of my friends, not my friend anymore, he opened the sprinkles box and like everyone was in my room, we were having a good time, and he just started like throwing them everywhere, and I'm just like, I have carpet, so it's just like, what the heck, I can't even pick these up, are you serious right now? And they all just thought it was funny. I'm just sitting there, I'm pissed, I'm like, what the heck, dude? And it's like times like those is when you really need to step up for yourself, because when people see that reaction where it's like you're not doing anything, that's when they're like testing the boundaries and seeing like what limits they can go.
I agree with that. Oh my God, Bridget, did you literally just said something that I used to go through all the time when I was working as a cashier, which is the most common place where people will throw the weirdest dicks at you and they will say weird stuff just to like ruin your day. So I know that as a cashier, it was a lot of situations where I would have to ask myself, do I say something bad? Do I say something bad?
Do I retaliate or do I maintain professionalism? That is a huge question.
I would wait them out. I would be like, oh, this wasn't that bad. This was, because there would be a lot of people like that. I don't know why people take their anger out at cashiers. I was just doing my job. You don't have to like, I know one time
Literally.
I know one time this grown woman came to our store and she just bought a pack of gum. So I scanned the gum and she wanted to change it with something else that is with the same price. So I thought she was buying both the gum and the something else. And I told her the price, let's say $2. And she was like, no, it's $1. And I was like, no, it's $2 because you got both. And she didn't know. I was so surprised how a grown woman was not able to communicate that she just wanted to switch them out. You just have to tell me, because she was just looking at me with the weirdest faces.
Like, use your words. I don't like when customers just assume that you know something.
Yeah, she was assuming, but the thing is, like, she was like, like...
A nasty, nasty attitude.
Yeah, she really wanted to be like, oh, use your brain, but meanwhile also use your brain because you were not speaking.
Use your words.
Use your words, literally. But at the store, dude, I had a lot of favorite foods there because I had a lot of snacks at that convenience store. So I really wanted to bring the topic of food to the podcast because I think we talked about a lot of stuff, but we did not talk about food. I'm a big food lover, guys. And in the past, I used to have a very weird relationship with food because it was something that I used to go back to when I had like emotional stress or stuff like that. So that was unhealthy. But nowadays, I kind of just daydream about food in a healthy way because I learned that I have power over food. Food doesn't have power over me. And you learn that when you do a week or two of trying to kind of hold yourself back from your cravings and kind of have a
Mm-hmm.
healthier diet. And everyone can know that you have the power over everything. Literally. I also stopped smoking. I
Exactly.
stopped a lot of things, so we all can do that. But can we just talk about our favorite foods, please, please, please? I want to give a full
Just for a
segment.
second.
Yeah,
Oh, me personally, Orgus, my favorite unhealthy food, ooh, it has to be like very sodium high, very spicy ramen from this one ramen place down near a mall that I go to. So good. Like, I love spicy foods. I love very saturated sodium enriched foods. I use a lot of salt on my meals. I can't not use salt for my meals. I feel like it healthy food that I like. I do love snacking just on like regular nuts, like pecans, almonds. My mom is like a nut junkie as well. But when it comes to these foods, it's like I'm more craving the unhealthy types, like maybe like a Hershey's bar or even some Oreos. And it's hard to not snack all day because it's like when it comes to like bigger portions, like lunch, breakfast, or like actual like big meals or portions that'll keep you full all day, we tend as humans to kind of go for the more craving friendly options like Oreos. That's not going to fill you up all day and it's going to add more sugar and more calories to like your intake, which is not healthy at all.
that's what I used to do at the store. I would think that sometimes I would even want to save money because I was also going to school and stuff. And I was like, oh, let me just grab the snack instead of order at the restaurant next to us because it's more expensive. And then I would be eating
Mm-hmm.
5 Oreos. I would be eating 5 Reese's snack bars. You know, the ones with
I love Reese's
peanuts?
though. They're
I would
so
eat
good.
5 of
Yeah.
those in the morning. And I don't know how I survived, dude.
Orgus, you were telling me the story earlier, and I recognized that I did not give you the time to finish it. So I would love to hear it though. Like, just share it with the podcast.
This story is more of a warning to not ever go to someone's house if you don't like them. It was Albania's Independence Day. It's November 28th. It's very specific. I hope the person doesn't see this, but if they see this, like, off. Sorry.
Whatever.
So I met this guy through a friend. At first, I thought I liked this guy, but then I noticed that in each gathering or each volunteering session, I noticed that every time I would speak, he would kind of like blow me off. Like, I noticed that he kept
Huh.
ignoring me. So I was like, okay, this guy doesn't like me, and this guy doesn't want to hear what I have to say. After we finished volunteering one night, he was like, guys, it's Independence Day. I am hosting a party tonight. He called it a party, by the way, not a gathering. He was like, if you guys want to come party and then sleep over at my house is over at blank. And his house was in a different city. It was far away. So imagine this was my first mistake. We went with his car and some other people's who were able to drive and had a car there. We went to his car. It was so, so, so slow until we got into the other city. All of a sudden, I go to his house and I started feeling sick. Like, so sick to the point where I was starting having a fever and starting having a lot
Oh
of
my
temperature.
gosh.
So yep, crazy feeling. I couldn't predict that. And I asked for medication from some friends, and all of that was good. But tell me why. Sleeping time comes. And I helped him throughout this whole party. I felt very guilty going to his house because I know he didn't like me, but I liked people around him. So I was being really nice. I was helping him organize the snacks, helping him clean up, and helping him set up where everyone is going to sleep. After all of that help I gave this guy, this stupid dude, he goes all around, gives everyone a blanket and everyone something to cover and sleep. I know it was weird circumstances where we were a lot of people at someone's house. He comes over to me. He hands me a paper thin blanket. A paper thin blanket, and I'm having a fever. He sees me shaking, and he gave everybody like very cozy things, and he gave me a paper thin. Why didn't you save that for someone else? Paper thin, dude. Paper thin. It was so thin, and everybody was
He
getting
gave
like
you a paper towel.
literally, literally. Oh my god, he gave me a paper towel. I think he did that on purpose because I know I wanted to call a taxi, so I taxied home with another friend who wanted to leave. But yeah, this was a crazy, not that crazy, but almost like sad story and almost a warning. Don't go to someone's house that you don't like. Even though there are people who you might have fun with there, other people just don't go. Don't go. Honestly, respect yourself. Don't go.
Yeah, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where it's like, oh, well, I do want to do this, but then now, after a little while, you're just like, well, now how do I escort myself out of this situation? Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm sorry that happened.
Like, I really want to know your opinion. Do you feel like it was my fault?
No, hell no. I mean, he was the one who hosted the party, dude. And, I feel like it was kind of petty on his end, knowing that he didn't like you, because, like, I feel like he's the type of person who's not going to say it to your face in a way.
I was done dirty. I was done dirty. And another topic.
Done dirty? Yes, exactly, you were. Call it out. Call it out like it is.
Talking about done dirty and me being done dirty from this dude, I wanted to play this game and add a segment to our podcast, which is called Done Dirty or Done Right. But this is things that we've done. It's almost a play on word on Never Have I Ever. It's basically Never Have I Ever, but just Done Dirty Diaries version.
Just our little twist, you know us.
Yeah, we like to play around, and we have some spicy questions to close this podcast. So we're gonna quickly read through them. Okay, guys, let's start at our Done Dirty or Done Right category. I'll say a statement, and my co-host Bridget will tell me if they've done dirty, basically they did that, or if they done right and they did not do that. So I'm really excited. And these are so messy, guys. Let me read the first one. So, I stayed in a situation because I was scared to start over. Have you done it? Or have you done it right?
I have done dirty. Ugh, I could relate to that one, Orgus, because it's just like in the terms of relationships, or like something that you're working on and like you've just been working on it for so long, it has to succeed, you've been like putting so much time and effort for it that you don't want to start over. That's a really hard thing to do. Like if you're putting a robot bits and pieces together and like somehow like in the coding it just doesn't work, or a part is just really bad, now you gotta take it apart again. It's just so much work, and some people just want to like sit in that kind of pit where they're stuck because like all this like effort, all this like happiness, all this time spent on this, like what's the point if like I have to start over? What's the point if I have to leave this person? Like it's the effort, dude, and it's like you don't want to throw it all away. So I have definitely done dirty in that little area. Guilty.
I relate at that part. Oh my god, I think everybody relates at the part where Bridget said, like, it's the effort, it's the time, it's the history. You always consider the history and the background, so you're, like, scared to ruin something that I guess to you was, like, history behind it, and it was, like, sacred in a way, so you don't want to do it, but it's also self-sabotaging in a way, so it's definitely a done dirty that I've also done. Okay, Bridget has the next one, and I'm scared.
Okay, Orgus. So, never have I ever stalked someone and then pretended the next time I saw them that I didn't know any of the information that they gave me. For example, like, oh, I went skiing last week, and you were stalking them, and you're like, oh, that's cool, but you already knew that.
I will say I done right, because I've stalked before. Okay, you're gonna come at me for this one, but I've stalked people before.
You're lying.
But like acquaintances where I knew more things about. For example, I know where your dad works. I know how many family members you guys are. I know
where you live.
Not that I'm not that freaky, but like more like I know your hobbies. I've seen maybe your Facebook. Have you ever?
With your answer, Orgus, it makes me look like the devil incarnate. I have done dirty. It is not a hobby, but it is a too easy of a thing to do, because that's why I keep my name a little bit different from my real government name on my social media. Sometimes I don't even put my last name because, like, people can find out so much information online. Me, when I look up somebody, like, if I know your first and last name, yes, you'll be getting looked up.
Everywhere.
I do not want an axe murderer as my friend.
Okay, the next one is done dirty or done right. I felt behind everyone my age. Ask you.
Have definitely Done Dirty, because we both kind of shared that experience. I know with talking with you, at one point we both felt like we were kind of behind in the race. I still do feel like a little behind, but probably like 20 years from now, I'll be like, wow, I could have done so much more. So I feel like it's really about doing what I can in this moment than worrying about what I didn't do in the past.
Yeah, I've also
done dirty for me. What about you?
Definitely Done Dirty. So there is this one line from This Is Me Trying. It's a wonderful song by Taylor Swift. I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere, fell behind all my classmates, and I ended up here. So it's a crazy lyric because sometimes, literally Shakespeare, because it's so relatable. Like sometimes we feel like we're so ahead of everyone, and because you drain yourself trying to be better and trying to prove yourself, sometimes you just are so ahead of the curve becomes a sphere, and you end up 360 where you was, and you just feel like you're behind everyone. So I've definitely felt like that before. Why am I so scared when the other person reads it? Oh my god.
You're fine. It's because I'm calling you out, that's what. So, done dirty or done right, never have I ever. I deleted something because I didn't get enough likes on it.
Oh, I've done the dirtiest of this. Dude, not just photos, but with TikTok videos. Are you kidding me? You have one video that goes 100K and the other one goes like 50 views. You're like, oh my god, what's happening?
It's kind of humiliating.
It's so humiliating. You're like, oh my god, my career is so ruined. So you're like, not even the career, you just feel like so like attacked. Like, oh my god, people don't care about me anymore.
Everyone hates me. Oh.
Yeah. And you just like click delete or like you private it if you like it, and that's so sad because sometimes I just private them. I'm like, okay.
Because it's disappointing sometimes. You're like, oh, this is a great video. It's gonna get so much traction, and then it just absolutely flops. Even when you repost it, it still flops. That is heartbreaking.
Especially if you worked on it a lot. But yeah, was this Ed done dirty or done right?
No, yeah, I'm definitely guilty of doing that dirty, dude. If you guys like this segment, we can continue it. If you hate it, just tell us stop it right now. But I really like this little segment that me and Orgus cooked up. But I feel like we're gonna keep doing little fun things like little submissions. For example, please remember there is a Google document in our bio that you can submit questions, advice, needs, or even stories that we can read on here. We'd love to hear what you can share.
Today's confession was so crazy with the
so
money
juicy
thing. Please, if you're on YouTube, it'll probably be down below. If you're on Spotify, download the video and we'll find a way to also communicate through TikTok and social media. So do your confessions, or if you want to ask advice or anything, me and Bridget have been through a lot of trial and error, so we will do our best to give advice and help you.
Please make sure to rate the Spotify. If you're on Spotify, 5 stars. Give us a like on the video. If you're on YouTube, please follow us on social media. On TikTok, we are Done Dirty Pod. On Instagram, we are Done Dirty Diaries. And on all other socials, we are Done Dirty Diaries Podcast. Please tune in next Wednesday, and we're really excited to see you guys again. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Bridget.
And my name is Orgus.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Do us right, guys. Don't do us dirty. Bye-bye.